think for me, like the first thing I do is just ask myself 3 questions before I start any business, before I jump into any new project. And if those answers don't come back a resounding F yes, or it's really solving something for me, then I actually don't pursue it. Because we can have so many ideas, and so often we're like, oh my God, I have this idea, and I have that idea, I have this idea, I have that idea. Which one do I start? What do I even pursue? So the first thing I do is just like ask myself these 3 questions. So question number 1 is, what sucks in my world? It really has to start with me, something that really genuinely sucks in my world, having a pain point in my world. Question number 2 is, does it suck for a lot of people? If it just sucks for me, then I'm a diva and there's no business there. And the third question is, can I be passionate about this issue, cause, or community for a really long time? The second business I started, Thanks. What sucks in my world? Having menstrual, like literally leaks constantly, just forgetting to change my tampons and pads. It was just like, every single month. And so it sucked for me. It was a messy experience. It was just really time-consuming experience for me. And so it sucked for me. To suck for a lot of people. Every single woman who is watching this will raise their hand if they've ever experienced a leak, an accident, an issue during their periods. And so such a lot of people can be passionate about women's issues and really eliminating shame for women for the rest of my life. I mean, I think it starts with what you just said, questioning everything and giving yourself the permission to question. And I think we all kind of just say, well, this is just the way it is. This is just clocking in, clocking out for work. I mean, I wake up at this hour and I go to bed this hour time. I accept time as true. I accept money as a true exchange of it. That means something. We've just agreed to the constructs that we live in. And if we just kind of pull back the curtain and just actually remove that and say, wait a minute, all of this is made up. Taxes are made up. Our roads are made up. Our systems are made. Judicial systems are made up. The fact that we have these borders that we walk on, and we have these little things called passports that prevent us from going across imaginary lines, that we've agreed to mean something. These are all just complete illusions in society that we just all agree to and accepted. So I think if we all just start by saying, wait a minute, like I can invent a new possibility in the world. I can make this better. I can change the way people think about things that are accepted in society. And by the way, society is simply people, made up of people who are no different than any of us, except for set hundreds of years ago by people. And so if we're just saying like, I'm too scared to go against society, AKA people just like you, then what are we doing here? So I think it just starts by just questioning it and saying, wait, I'm just as much as somebody as the society that was created by people are somebody's, and just saying like, I'm going to speak up. I'm going to do something. I'm going to put one foot forward. And I think a lot of times right now, people love to just talk and share and say like, this is what I want to do. And I have this idea. And then they just kind of not follow through. And I think this time is really fascinating because, during COVID, everything, all of a sudden, 2020, March of 2020, things just slowed down. And in that place of slowing down, we can really just sit and ask ourselves deeper questions and with not so many people around distracting us, and say like, what do I care about? What am I interested in solving? What pain points do I actually have that I just kind of shoved under a rug? What are things that I've always in my head questioned but never really did anything about it? It's the time is now, which is why disruption is such an important and necessary word today, because we are living in a complete time of disruption where from disruption, possibility is there. So step 1 is to accept that everything's an illusion. And then step 2 is to say, okay, like I'm as much as somebody as anybody. I'm going to challenge this thing that I don't believe to be necessarily true. And then the third thing is to start to invent and start to come up with and dream and imagine and create. And we are all creatives. We are all born creatives. And it's just, again, acknowledging that side and giving ourselves a space, which we have now, to get creative and come up with solutions.
The Boldly Now Show, igniting the world of burning desire, big ideas, and bold action.